you might need to make an apology. Yeah, for all big men, for all offensive linemen, and everyone, I just want to say this is not how everyone thinks here. I'm here to defend you because that was just ridiculous. Honestly, that was just ridiculous. And I tried to be nice about it. I'll let y'all talk. I'll let y'all talk. I didn't cut you off, but that was ridiculous. I couldn't believe that.
Encore, what have you created?
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Modeling Pioneers podcast. I am your co-host, Jordan Flowers, here with my boy, Jacob Hale, for another exciting interview for season 3, season of separation, man. How we doing today, Hale?
Doing good, man. Living the dream.
Living the dream, man. We trying to live the dream. Hey, speaking of living the dream, tell H&R Block to give me my tax return, bro. I need my monies, bro. I need my monies, bro.
You said,
Like they a little
bro,
too
you said
slow
that
on
like
this.
I work for them.
I don't know, bro. I feel like
do not comment.
interconnected with them.
No.
I'm gonna get
Anyone
you in
viewing
trouble,
this,
huh?
do not comment and at me thinking that I work at H&R Block. I do not have your tax return money. All right, don't do that.
He directly works with the IRS, bro, and he's not trying to give me my money back. But it is what it is, man. But let's let's get us into the episode, man. We have a special guest in the building, man, and let me introduce him by his accolades. He back-to-back two-time FCS national champion. In the 2023 playoffs, he recorded an interception in all 4 playoff games, which is crazy. Even with the national championship game against Montana, got 2 career pick sixes. Missouri Valley Football Conference list of academic excellence, and most importantly, hailing from the 402 Omaha, Nebraska. And let's welcome my brother Dalys Beanum to the pod, man. How we doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm blessed. How y'all doing?
Man, we good, man. We even better that you here, man. This has been something that's been in the works for a while now. And honestly, I think I got to stop doing this. We got one more Miller West Wildcat I got to have on here. So you the second. If the people don't know, Shay,
Yes, sir.
that had him on the first episode of the season. But I'm done interviewing you after this. I got one more, and that's gonna be Harrison Phillips. Got to get Harrison Phillips on here, man. He a legend.
Sure.
He a legend, bro. So I got to make sure I get him on here. But we want to thank you for being on this pod, bro, and seeing the things. I went down the accolades and all of that, but you've been somebody that's been, exceeding at the highest level for a couple years now. And I wanted to recognize that by bringing you on here so you can kind of tell your story and who you are. So before we get into your story and unpack all the things that led you are to where you are today so you can accomplish the things you have, I want to familiarize the audience with the cornerback position, which you play, right? The second hardest position to play, but the most physically difficult position to play. Can you explain to us what makes the cornerback position so difficult to play, especially at the highest level?
I feel like what makes it so difficult is just like so much that goes into it. Like when you out there on the field, it's not only physical, but it's mental. Like you pretty much got to be, you almost playing a game with the receiver and you're also playing a game against the quarterback as well. And at the end of the day, what makes it hard, you got to pretty much, you got to do all the physical, like you got to follow a receiver, you got to shadow him, you got to play with your back turned to the ball. You got to do all kinds of stuff like that. So I feel like I'm gonna disagree with you. I think it is the hardest position to play, but mentally, quarterback, I can't see that. But I think it's just so much goes into it. Like you got to have the mental focus to play that position. You got to have the confidence. Just a lot of stuff just pours into it from different aspects that just make you into a good cornerback.
Absolutely. And for you, man, like I joke a little bit about that. I know that is the most physically demanding too, just from the fact that it's mano y mano, you out there on the island. And just with the rule shifts, with everything that's going on, like it's tailored more to the offense, so you can't really get away with as much, especially at the DB position, bro. I understand how difficult you can't really even. It is a little bit hard, so I feel for y'all as defenders, man. But I want to tell a quick story before I give it to Hell. bro. So I don't know if you knew this, but in high school, I was kind of debating on where I was going to school, and really because I was much faster, much lighter. And this is pre hamstring Jordan at this time, but so I was getting recruited a lot from the DB position, even though I played quarterback. I had never played a snap of DB in my life, nor could I ever tackle somebody. So I don't know why the hell that they thought I could do something at that position, bro. But so I'm getting recruited by Iowa State, and up until Central Missouri came into the equation, I was really focused on going. I was going to Iowa State to play DB, and I got a funny story to tell you, bro. So we go to the Friday night lights camp. It was my junior year, going into my senior year, and I had never played a lick of DB. I'm talking about like I'm twisting my feet, bro. It's all bad. But I'm super athletic at the time. So we had the Friday night lights camp, bro. I'm doing pretty decent at the drills, like for somebody that's doing it the first time. And I get matched up with like, I think he was a 4-star. He had to be like 6'5", 6'6". And it was the last rep of the camp. Bro, he hit me with a post corner so fucking bad. Excuse my language, mama. But it was that bad. I gotta be illustrated with it because, bro, I twisted my feet. Like, I'm all on the ground. Like, it was so bad, bro. So that
He
was the
also played
moment I
off.
knew. Huh? No, I was
He
off.
was,
That's what made
oh,
it worse, bro. Hey, that's what made it worse, bro. Oh my God. And like, that's the moment I knew I cannot come play DB out here, man. I'm gonna find somewhere where I'm going to play quarterback because this is not it, bro. And what made it worse is I think their DB coach came up was like, "You all right, son?" I'm like, I don't want to hear that right now, bro. You just see what happened to me. It's the last rep too, so ain't no get back, ain't no nothing, bro. You just sitting there with that, bro. So, yeah, bro. I just had to tell that story, man. I know I'm gonna kick it to hell because I know he wants to kind of elaborate on some things, man. So go ahead.
Yeah, so I have a lot to elaborate on. First of all, uh, Jordan, you are straight wrong. All right. And it's only because he's a QB that he feels the need to say certain things like that. Number one, the corner position is the hardest position to play in football. I don't care what anyone says. That's ridiculous that that's even an argument. You watched the NFL this year, Jordan. You've seen the QB play
I
going on
did.
out there. You cannot tell me the QB position is the hardest position. It's definitely the corner position,
It was
especially
nasty QB work.
who you have to guard. And again, a QB can play terrible for one touchdown and win the game. A
oh, for
corner can
sure,
play perfect, give up one touchdown and lose the game.
for
Like
sure.
it's not even close. Physically, the hardest position is definitely the offensive line, or if you want to argue,
Okay.
anywhere on the line. But
Yeah.
to say any position to where you can get some cardio for about 2.5 quarters and then get 5 targets thrown your way is definitely not going to be the most physical position. So that's ridiculous too. Uh, yeah,
Okay, my
you
fault,
might need to
gangster.
make
Go
an
ahead.
apology. Yeah, for all big men, for all offensive linemen, and everyone, I just want to say this is not how everyone thinks here. I'm here to defend you because that was
Thank
just ridiculous. Honestly, that was just ridiculous. And I tried to be nice
I
about it. I'll let y'all talk.
apologize.
I'll let y'all talk. I didn't cut you off, but that was ridiculous. I couldn't believe that. Well, to start it off lightly, I do want to hear your welcome to college football story. That's a staple. Anyone who comes on here and play football, I gotta hear your welcome to college football story. One thing I'll say about your division because I know a little bit about it is that my older brother played for Illinois State for a
you.
year.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
played he played center there, and the fun fact about that is the one year that he played, they went to the national championship. That
Hey,
was
so
the only
was that
year.
in 2014, like 2015, somewhere around there?
He was still in high school. Yeah, yeah, that was about 2015, somewhere
Yeah,
around
because
there. So the
my
fun
current
fact.
position coach played with them at that time.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the fun fact I love to give people is like my brother went out there, went to the championship game, and he lost to who became the four-time national championship winner, Carson Wentz from North
Oh,
Dakota State. And then later on that year,
Tough.
Carson Wentz went on. He went in the first round. I think he was the first overall or the third or something like that. And it was like a major thing for your division and how high someone was drafted and all of that stuff. But that was my welcome to that part of football because you don't hear a lot about it, but they play just as good as football as any other college football division, you
Definitely,
know,
definitely.
wherever you would say.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I need to hear your welcome to college football moment for sure.
Man, I think so. I would say I got two. So I would say I was talking to Jordan before we got on, but I would say I'd say my first week of fall camp was just crazy because it was just so much stuff going on. It was so I my freshman year it was during COVID, so like I didn't know what was
Mhm.
going. It's like 'cause fall camp it'd be all day, so you at the stadium all day eating them meals. Your stomach be messed up. But but my first day of fall camp, I ate breakfast. I was I was ready to go. We had film. I was ready to go out to the field. And then our first drill after we started stretching, we was as a defense, we do this pursuit drill. And it's like you got to run, like the coach will hand the ball off to someone, he'll run down the field, and you got to just chase them, tag off the hip, just pursue. But then you got to keep jogging back to the start of the play and just keep running back and forth. And you do it like 5 times. Like if everyone's running good, everyone's running like as fast as they can, then you good. But there's a few guys like freshmen, we don't know what to expect. So we think we run into the ball. We think we sprinted the ball, but we not. I guess we didn't know the standards. So every time we messed up,
Mhm.
they told me, go again, go again. I'm like, I thought I was about to. I really thought I was about to die. Like I was out there, like my chest was getting tight. I was holding on, breathing. It was just crazy. So we probably went a total of about 8 times, 8 times of just running back and forth because you have to do it. You have to do the pursuit drill 3 times and you're good. But we did it like 8 of them times. So we over there struggling, dying, and then the time we do it right, we done. We like, all right, we made it through. Then you got to go to indie drills. We backpedaling, we breaking, we doing all this running. Cause corner they run a lot. So I would just say that first day of fall camp was the worst I ever have faced. But then I got another one. We was doing it was my first year of fall camp again. We was doing just simple just angle tackling drills. And our linebacker coach, he's our current head coach, Coach Jimmy Rogers. He's got a he don't mess with you if you come in soft tackling and stuff, right? So
Right.
me in high school, I was a receiver. I was never really the tackle guy. Like I never was tackling really, so I was just getting the hang of it. So it's corners and safeties in a group together, and we hidden. And I thought, me, I thought I came in good. Like, I hit him, wrapped him up, got a good tackle. He talking about, that shit was soft. I said, I look back, I'm like, dang. He talking about go again till you can figure it out. So I'm going again. I'm hitting him, but I'm like, I'm not coming in as hard as he went. I guess I don't know the standard. So
Mhm.
we keep going. We keep going. He's like, we're gonna be here all day until you decide not to be so soft. I'm like, when them coaches get in your head as a freshman, you like,
Mhm.
I don't know what to think. Like he all in my head. So that might have been the worst practice of my life because then like I just kept thinking about that all day, all night, and then it just kept kind of messing with my confidence. But like at the end of the day, you learn like he's doing that for the best. You know what I mean? Because that means he really care about you. So it took me a couple of days off fall camp to understand like what these coaches really wanted from me. But I would say my welcome to college football was like those first couple of days of fall camp for sure because I had to it's getting the hang of the speed of everything, the physicality, and all that stuff for real.
Everyone's fall camp is like it's like when you start an internship or something like that. It's just everything's a million miles an hour, and you're just trying to figure it out. So I definitely understand that.
One of the things that stood out even in our story is, and we've told the story. I'm not going to get into it, so we could keep moving along. But we told this story, I think, either this season or last season, about me and Hale. We were both injured our freshman year, and our quarterback coach, my offensive coordinator, he actually from the 402 too, man. So I got a lot of 402 propaganda. Yeah, I got a lot of 402 propaganda on this podcast. They don't really like it, but whatever. And
Hey, rep your city, you got rep the city.
yeah, I gotta represent, man. But we were both hurt, bro. And long story short, man, we like sitting on the sideline, and me and Hale over there, like we doing our rehab process. And he was like, he go over to me and Hale and was like, y'all heard of that new cookie flavor? And he'll know where I'm going with this. He was like, nah, I ain't hearing no new cookie flavor. He was like, yeah, it's called soft baked. And he just walks off. I'm like, did he just call it soft, bro? Oh man, I was hot, bro. That was the one day, like, it was like, yeah, bro, we really here, man. Like all that nice recruitment, like these dudes is like so nice. That was out the window after that. I'm like, but it's the first day and I'm getting called soft, but this is crazy, bro. Like, but yeah, man, I do want to take it back a little bit. I want to take it back to the beginning. When I got the chance to watch you play in college and, and what you've been able to do in your career, one of the things that sticks out about you is your discipline. And even with some of the post game interviews and the quotes that I've seen, you've always had this kind of even keel demeanor to you. So can you tell us how and what about your upbringing led to you developing like this quiet confidence that you walk around with that's both apparent in your life and on the football field?
Yeah, I'll say it starts like, it starts since like I was just growing up, like with my family. One thing I kind of lacked when I was growing up was the confidence in myself. And I feel like my support system, my family, my friends, they helped me out with that a lot, just to kind of, I'd be like, so you got to start believing in yourself because no one else will, you know what I mean? So I feel like that was a big part of it. And then as you know, like after the post game interviews and stuff, like I've just seen so many times like when people get too high or too low, like you got to just stay, right in that middle, because when things are going good, everyone wants you, but when things are going bad, like they're telling you that quick, you know what I mean? So I just try to, even when you have a great game, you just still have to stay even keeled, like you said, because things can turn on you so quick that, and people switch up on you so quick. So that's why I don't even look into all the talk, all the, when people praise you and stuff like that, because I switch up so quick in politics and sports and stuff. So I'll say, just like I said, growing up throughout middle school and high school, just I always knew I had the talent in me. It was just kind of just getting that confidence in myself. And the way I built that was just, you got to keep working hard, keep your head down, just grind. Because, I mean, no one can tell you anything after that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, and y'all keep that like I think one of the things I was when I was doing my research, I think on the back of y'all helmets it says last play, right? So y'all have like that last play mentality, right? We on to the next type of play. You gotta forget, and it's kind of similar to what we have at the quarterback position as well. Like you can't get into your own head about missing a pass, or you can't get into your own head about missing a read, like because at that point it could spiral quickly. Like if you in your own head, one pass can make you make one bad pass, and you in your own head about that, bro. It's gonna be a steamroll. You about to make another one. You about to make another one. It's just a compounding type of thing, man. But I want to shift a little bit back to a little bit kind of going back to the beginning and the origins of you and your recruitment process. Out of high school, you chose to attend South Dakota State, one of the more premier programs in FCS football. So I just want to know, take me back to what your recruitment process was. What were some of the values that you saw within this program that made it seem, or y'all kind of aligned in the right place for you to continue your football career at SDSU?
Yeah. So recruitment, it started off kind of rocky for me because, you know how it be. Everyone's getting these offers like early in the high school career, like freshman, sophomore year. But for me, I had to prove myself my junior year. That summer going into my senior year, that was my first time I was getting offers, and I actually went to one of these Lindenwood mega camps where they like a bunch of colleges just watching you, like you just out there performing and they're watching you. So like there's schools all over the nation, FBS, FCS, D2, D3, all kinds of schools. So I went there going in with no offers, and I went there actually as a receiver and a DB because in high school I played straight up receiver. Yeah, so I went in there as a receiver and DB, and I was getting reps at both, doing one on ones, all that stuff. So um, first, right after the camp, South Dakota State and like five other schools came up to me and said like, "We love what you're doing. Like, want to offer you for a ride. Like, want to give you a scholarship." And some of them were a receiver, some of them were a DB. But that was a great start to things. And then as the recruitment went on, I started taking visits, and when I came up here for one of my visits, like they treated me, they treat obviously how to be recruitment. They treat you like a king. They treat like everyone like a king. But like for me personally, like it was more. It went past just me. I saw how they treated my family. Like they brought us all in, and kind of it just felt like a whole just family. Like it was nothing was forced. Like it just felt natural. And so Me, I was waiting on like more offers and stuff, but then I was talking to my parents. I'm like, I don't know what we're waiting for. Like I love South Dakota State. Like I think it's a great place for me. It's decently close to home, but still like a decent, you know what I mean? So it's in the in between area. It's only a 3 hour drive. So I was like, I don't even know what we're waiting for. Like I'd rather just get the decision out of the way before my season or before my senior year of high school starts for football. So I ended up committing, I think like that June before school started. So it was one of the best decisions I made, and I don't regret a single bit of it.
There's two interesting things that you pointed out on there. Obviously, is the confidence part, and with the corner position, I mean that's probably one of the biggest aspects of the corner position outside of your athletic talent is you have to be confident in what you're doing, and whoever's lined up against you, you have to feel like that you can handle that person, you know.
Yes, sir.
And then the second thing you talk about is how there's what you think about yourself and your internal, and then what everyone around you says, and try and leveling that around to where there's some things they say it's like, oh, okay, I can get better at this, and then there's other things where it's like I'm just shutting that off. I'm not going to let it affect me. I'm not going to let it affect whatever I have going on, and in that corner position, there is that sense of I call it blind confidence, but basically you have to have that alter ego to say, like I said before, no matter what's going on, I'm going to cover this guy no matter what's happening. So I guess what I'm curious about is when things are not going your way on the football field, or someone called a big pass on you, what's kind of your technique or what's kind of your mindset to kind of process what happened and then snap back into, okay, I need to stay level headed. I can't let my emotions get the better of me.
Yeah, for sure. That was honestly, yeah, a big challenge. Like obviously switching from high school to college, that's a big, because I'd be at corner position. Like you have to get the thought. You have to think like no corner in this game will just doesn't get caught on. Like everyone gets caught on. So I feel like once you realize that and just it's gonna happen, you got to and then when it does happen, you just have to be mentally strong enough to just throw that, like, you have to realize what you did wrong, and then you have to just throw that play away, and then just you can fix what you need to fix. But I feel like where people get caught up on is when they keep that play in their head, just keep replaying it, and just keep that weight on your shoulders. You can't, like with being a corner, you can't keep that on your mind. You got to let that go. And I feel like when corners be having bad games, you can't let the other team see that, because when other teams see that, when the quarterback sees that, when the receiver sees that, they're gonna just keep going at you. You know what I mean? So you have to, even if everything going bad, even if you giving up, a team record or anything, you got to act like you still not want to be messed with. You know what I mean? You still got to have that dog in you, like no one out here can mess with you. So I feel like I said, your confidence got to be at a whole different level in yourself, because no one else is going to believe in you. So I mean, I feel like that's the way to go about it.
That's the beauty of recruiting, and something that I think all of us have learned, and what made our decision is that you can always go to the big bad fancy school that has all these NFL prospects that they're bringing out. And to some people, that's just what they want. But
Hmm.
at the same time, there's so many people that understand that I need people who want me there because they like me, not
Exactly.
because of
Mhm.
a position, not because of wherever else that may be. And for any coach or any type of recruiting factor, that's so important. And they tend to miss that a lot of times. And that's how they seem to lose kids and lose recruits and such. So one big thing about football that I've learned, especially being out of it for so long, is that football really teaches you that life is a team game.
Hmm.
And a lot of the values that I've learned through football are easily transitioned into real life, into whatever I'm doing. So while you're still in the football world, what have you seen in your life to where you felt like things that I've learned in football, I can easily transition into daily life, or what have you done so far?
As I've been growing into like in the program, as you get older, like you take more of a, it kind of build. It's not even like you take more of a leadership role; it builds you into more of like a leader. So I feel like just being with teammates, leading a position group, that takes it. Like for me, for my example, like for class, like when I'm in classes, like and we're doing group projects, like it almost brings that leader out of me where I can kind of start, how it'd be when you get put into random groups, like everyone don't want to talk, everyone kind of weird. So I think football helps me like it gives me that leader role, and then I just kind of start things. I get things going, make everyone feel comfortable, bring everyone together, just make sure everyone has a good time. And I think football does a great job of that because you establish some great bonds during college football, and you build relations with those people, and then it'll bring it to the real world. So I feel like it helps me a lot with currently with my academics in class, and I think it'll definitely help me out in the long road for sure when I pick my wherever I'd go with my future.
Like you said, we had an episode on compound investment, where we talk about taking the certain aspects and certain things that we've learned in life and building upon those things, right? We talk about not wasting any experience. Every experience that you have, you can build upon, no matter what arena it's in, whether it's a small part-time job, whether it's, me going to go pick up trash or anything. It could be anything that you could find in there where it's character development. Like you said, you're able to take some of the things that you learn in the team element, which I think football is the greatest sport and the emulator of life in general, particularly when you say if you're in a leader of your position, because it gives you so much exposure to bringing people together, right? Like one of the things I've been able to do as well is like with a lot of school projects, similar to what you said, is I've been able to be more open and more willing to like put myself out there. You know what I'm saying? And bring people together because, like you said, it could be very intimidating because nobody wants to really take that lead. And but I think football kind of teaches you like it's important that somebody speaks up, and if you have the development and you have the wherewithal to bring people together, you should do that. And so that's kind of the things that I'm taking away from what you're saying. But I want to stick on the team thing, but I want to take it back to the field. So you guys have had the fortune of this sustained success for the last few years, winning back-to-back national championships, right? And doing it against teams like North Dakota State, which I know y'all fierce rivals, man. I know y'all got the Dakota marker and everything. I'll be tapped in. And they've been described as kind of like this Alabama dynasty of FCS for, like kind of like the gold standard for FCS. But this year was a little different for you guys. And as this is the first year after retirement of the legendary Coach Stiegelmeier, right? It is already hard to repeat as a champion. But what were some of the difficulties that you guys faced this year under the helm of your first year head coach, Jimmy Rogers?
I would say the most difficult part about this past season was we returned a lot of returning starters. So we had the people for the team, but I think the most difficult challenge was being consistent week in and week out and just knowing like it don't matter the opponent you're facing, like you gotta get 1% better yourself. So as a team, like even if we played a team that wasn't athletically as gifted as us or whatever, we still had to go throughout practice like trying to get better as a team ourselves. Because there were some weeks like I think a good example is so before the championship game, we had a week where we wasn't even like scouting Montana yet. We was really trying to just get better as our team because we knew we had the people, we had the talent. We just had to get better as a team, work on work on ourselves first, and then we got into Montana. So I feel like week in and week out, just being consistent, trying to find a way to get better, and just keep getting better. Don't be stagnant. Don't be sitting like in a constant spot. We just keep taking that stair step to get 1% better every day.
Like, can you compare some of like the coaching style? I mean, obviously like you said, he's the linebacker coach, and I feel like you see that a lot now in the NFL of people promoting position coaches into head coaches, just because they're familiar with the program. They kind of got the attitude. They kind of got the steps of knowing what it is that has built this program to where it is today and how to keep it there. Right? They know the ins and outs of it. Was it any really difference in that? Was there any? I know you discussed some of the difficulties, but how as a team kind of was it the same as last year? Was it a little bit different, or was it just like we already got our guy, he's been in the building, so the standard is the standard?
Like you said, it was really like the standard is the standard. Like obviously Coach Stig and Coach Rogers, they have totally different coaching styles. Like Stig is a more laid back kind of let the assistant coaches work, and like he kind of sat back and just he intervened when he needed to. But I feel like with Rodgers, he's more of the hands-on approach. Like you got to be involved with everything. He wants to spit his brain out, like let everyone hear what he got to say and stuff, which I feel like was really helpful for this team. And I feel like like you said, like we knew what the standard was. Like the standard was right here when we won that first championship, and then coming in with Coach Rodgers, he didn't take no step back. We went further. So I feel like especially with him being he went to South Dakota State. He earned up the ranks, went up, started as a GA, went to assistant, and then he earned his way up to the head coach. So he definitely deserved that spot. And but I think they did have different coaching styles. But when Rodgers did get the helm, he knew where to take us, and I feel like everyone kind of knew what the mission was. Like with Rodgers, he made it clear, so there was no problem with that for sure.
I think the great thing about a good culture is that, again, there's so much that you learn from that transitions onto your life. But at the same time, trying to get fostered into that culture can be very challenging. I mean, you're used to a certain way, especially in high school, and how things are supposed to be, and then you're thrown into this environment with 100 other people, and you're forced to coexist with everyone. So, during your time at South Dakota State, what would you say was some of your biggest challenges in trying to adapt to this new environment? And what were some things that you did that you found was helpful to help you get acclimated to college football and then, of course, the South Dakota State standard?
Like I said earlier, my first year coming in, it was just so tough dealing with COVID, and it was just weird because everyone was so used to like obviously a normal college lifestyle without COVID, but this was my first time up here, so I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if this was normal life. Like I didn't know if I was going to be having to do online classes. Like meetings were on Zoom. We could only practice for certain hours, so I feel like just like the hardest thing was also like balancing academics and athletics as well. Like, because they want us to be great in the classroom, but also be performant on the field as well. So I would say balancing those two was definitely a little challenging. But I would say I leaned on my support system, my family, my friends. College you build your best friends during college. So I feel like I definitely did a good job finding those people, finding those close 5 to 10 people who I can lean on. It was great with me coming in because some of the older guys, they was big roller bottles to me, helping me get situated in college. I'd be like, it'd be hard to find a meal up here. Like, so I had some people cooking for me, like letting me come over and get a meal from them. So, because in them dorms, I was struggling. I was eating ramen noodles, I was eating fruit snacks. That's all I was eating. So it was good for them to let me come over. They treated me like some big brother, or they were like big brothers to me. So I'd say that's what I leaned on when I was going through those hard times.
Yeah, and since we have the privilege of being around um, someone that's talented with so many accolades that you have, there's millions of high school kids who definitely want to get to the next level and try to figure out what's the secret sauce, as I would say, of hard work, drills, and everything. So, I guess from your perspective, what were some things that you learned and for the corner position that really helped you gain experience, be a better athlete, whether it's a drill, a way that you watch film, something that a coach taught you, anything like that?
So for me, honestly, I've had 3 coaches in my time here. So I feel like each coach taught me something different. And I feel like my current coach right now, he's done a great job of like, because I feel like my first 2 years, I was kind of just out there just playing and just doing the position. But I feel like this last year, I'm really starting to kind of take a smarter approach to it, like have a higher IQ for the way I go about my things, like technique wise and just angles and stuff. So I feel like when I was first kind of getting used to the DB position, I was doing just a lot of just backpedaling and just getting used to that form because that's not a normal movement that everyone does on a normal day. Just backpedaling, playing with what I mean. So going backwards. So I feel like getting my backpedal right was my first priority, and then I started working on my brakes. Going downhill to the side because corners do all kinds of different brakes, like this way on a post, and then you got to turn. You got to do all kinds of brakes. So I feel like just
You just
being
gave me PTSD, bro.
well, and then
Go
yeah.
ahead.
So just all the different types of breaks. You're doing unusual breaks that are not natural as a normal human being. So doing that stuff, and then going back to my coach, just he taught me how to watch film at a more efficient level. Like watch the way the receiver comes off the ball. Watch, you got to look at when they know it's a run play or when they know it's a pass play. The different types of the give offs the receivers will give you is big, and then and just the angles and the way you tackle, the way you gotta have the perfect angle to play the ball in the air. It's all kinds of stuff you gotta go through as a corner. So I feel like one of the things I wanted to get good at was I knew being a receiver in high school would help me play this position in college, but I needed a way to because I'd always be running with the receiver, but it'd be attacking the ball from a defensive point of view. You know what I mean? It's easy doing it from a receiver, but a defensive point of view when your back's to the ball and you got to flip your head back and turn in, play it in the air. So that was a whole different type of ball game. So it's been a roller coaster of different ways I've been having to teach myself how to play this DB position, but I feel like my coach has definitely helped me get there for sure.
I do want to comment on one thing though. You coming in during COVID is a little tough, man, because I don't think college has ever recovered after that, bro. We had a time, dog. Before COVID, oh my god, bro, we was outside, bro, like for real, man. Like, oh my goodness, man. So I think it was our junior year. Yeah, so that was what 2019. Hell, yeah, yeah. So it was 2019. We're going into the spring. Yeah, it was. We're going into spring ball, and we had just lost to Fair State. That was the year that we had a really good year. And man, bro, I feel like we was just all. By that time, we already had 3 fall camps down, and like we had talked about before, the Western name. By the time you get older, man, like them fall camps and them spring, spring practices is like it get harder and harder to get up for as you get older, dog. Like, and I remember when COVID hit, bro. When COVID hit, and I think we got spring practices canceled. Boy, we was turned, man. I think we stayed down there, and we stayed down in Florida for like a week extra. All types of stuff, man. But yeah, man, we was before that, man. College was so turned, man. I don't think it's ever recovered after that. Like, and I've been to a couple colleges or just my whole college experience, man. So I feel for y'all, man. Y'all, I think obviously college is gonna be college, but man, I feel like pre-COVID, like everybody really didn't have a care in the world, bro. Everybody was just outside, man. So, um, I do want to shift the focus back to back to belief. We talked a little bit about your team. We talked a little bit about some of the tips and some of the drills that you would recommend for the up and coming guys. But I want to talk a little bit about the self. One of the things that we do on this podcast is talk about building self-confidence and building a rapport with yourself, knowing what you're good at, knowing what you're not, right? And how do we go about discussing this quite frequently on this podcast? Like I said, is believe this unwavering confidence in yourself, right? Where it doesn't come and go, right? You're kind of just there and you build that. Especially to accomplish some of the things that we want to accomplish, which is a higher order of things for you. And your goals are pretty lofty, as I know you and me and Hale goals in our separate careers and on this joint kind of venture together are lofty as well. So you have to have that unwavering confidence in yourself. At what time or what moment did you come to realize that you can really be great at this game? Like when you realize I could be him at what I do, was it a play? Was it a game? What solidified it for you, Dallas, to say, I can be great and this shows me how far I can take this?
Graduating eighth grade, going into high school, we had this kind of little like fake graduation, and I remember we had to write a goal out for what we wanted to accomplish in the future, and I put on my goal, and the principal announced it like I just wanted to play Division I football or basketball wherever it was at, and that was my goal, and I knew that goal at an early age. So going into high school, that was my goal. That's what I was achieving, and then I feel like when I went to college, my sophomore year, when we played in my first round game of the playoffs, we had some injuries and to the older guys, and that was actually my first because the COVID year didn't count, so that was technically my first year of eligibility. And so there was injuries, and they needed me to step up, and I was that third corner in the rotation, and it was against UC Davis, and that was the game I had 3 interceptions with the picks when I had the pick six as well, and that game, just after all that, when that happened, like I just had a rush of excitement, just all kinds of emotions just going after that game. And that's when that started kind of like the little run in the playoffs I had where I had, other interceptions, big plays that I made when they started getting some trust in me, building trust. So I feel like when that game happened, that kind of brought a different type of belief in my body, like, I can really do this at a level. I can really play with these boys. Cause that's one thing, like when I came to college, I'm like, I need something to evaluate, like if I'm built for this, like if I can play play with these boys. You know what I mean? So I feel like once I did that, I was like, yeah, this is where I should be. Like, this is where I can be. I can play with these boys, and that's where like my first thing of I can start getting that confidence, and I started believing myself, and that's where things took off.
First of all, that is incredible, especially since that was your first game. Um, I can only
Yeah,
imagine
he
what
him.
you did after that. I know I would have partied, honestly. And I would have went straight to the bar, something like that. But
Hey, we on Pine
maybe
Street.
you're
Hey,
right
we
there.
on Pine Street with it. We on Pine Street with it, bro.
Yes,
On God.
absolutely. It's amazing to hear that you believed in yourself and then you had the affirmation in front of you of your belief that hey, you're actually this good and stuff. Um, you mentioned this earlier when it comes to the outside noise. It's that when you're doing good, everyone's going to build you up. It's amazing. You're the best person ever, the greatest they've ever seen. They exaggerate and throw anything they want at you. And then when you're not doing so well, then it's completely negative. They're like, this is the worst team we've ever seen. The luck has run out for South Dakota State, things like that. So I guess from a mental health standpoint, did that ever take a toll on you at some point, especially early on, where there were times where you weren't as successful and everyone outside of you started to kind of surround you a little bit, started to bring you down a little bit? Did that ever take a toll at all?
Yeah, I would say there's definitely times where, one game you on top of the world, and then the next game, it can totally flip and everyone against you and everyone kind of questioning, is you actually built for this? So I feel like with me, like I said, you can't even listen to it. You can't pay no mind to it because it will make you it'll mess your mind up so much that like you can't handle all that. So I feel like the way to go about it it's just you can't listen to it. You gotta stay even keeled, like you said. And then like I was always talking to my parents, like my dad, he's probably the biggest critic of my game. Like he'll find the littlest things. If I ain't do it right, he gonna let me know. And that's how I am too. Like I love self evaluating myself. Like even if someone think I have a good game, like if I miss a tackle, that's gonna ruin my whole night. You know what I mean? So I feel like with me personally being one of my biggest critics, I think that helps out as well just knowing kind of even I might have had a good game, but still it's not good enough. You know what I mean? So I feel like just having that support system in my corner where they're telling me like you had a good game, but this and that. You know what I mean? You could still get better at that, and that keeps me I'll say it keeps me humble just to know like you can still keep getting better, and there's places to improve. You know what I mean? So I would say just not paying attention to that media because they'll make you rip your hair out, and then also just having good support that will support you when it's good, and then also be there to love you when everything's not going the best. You know what I mean?
Man, that's a really, really great answer, bro, because all of us on the podcast, including Trey, including BJ, have all been hurt for extended period of time. So BJ ruptured his Achilles. Trey had multiple surgeries on his ankle. I tore my hamstring twice. Get two surgeries. Hale has multiple knee surgeries, but we just the broken down boys. So that's our new name, bro. I might change the podcast name for that. But not bro. And I think it's really important to have that social support because for and to have that support network because truth be told, we leaned on each other and we were all kind of going through it together, being hurt at the same time and coming from where you come from and you the man, what I'm saying, we both came in hurt, so the expectations, I was the one. We had some cold quarterbacks that came in. He had his quarterback in high school came in with our class, my boy Jeremy. He was cold, but I was the only one that was coming in on scholarship, so I felt like the expectation was different for me, and to not be able to play as soon as I got down there, I was hurt. So and you kind of start to question yourself, like, are you gonna come back? Are you gonna be right? And then I had the second surgery, sat out another year. It's like I don't know if this is gonna be that. You know what I'm saying? The rehab was the rehab, but it's the mental toll. And luckily for us, we had a great support system with our families, but also too, we all room together. Me and Hale have leaned on each other, even though he got on my nerves when he tore his ACL. Man, I had to, hey bro, can you come change the ice? I'm like, dog, bro, no, man, it's 3 a.m., dog. Like, but nah, man, I think that's really, 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 really important, man. And but as we shift and we close this has been a terrific episode, Dallas. So again, I want to I want you to know how much we appreciate this. And we do this little segment where it's called the Jordan Flower segment, where I give our guests their flowers. So one of the things, I know you a quiet, confidence guy. Well, I'm gonna talk your shit for you, bro. I got you. I got you, man. You have been killing it. You've been killing it, and particularly where we come from. And I'm leveling with you as a guy from Omaha, from where we come from. We kind of got that chip on our shoulder. We don't. We kind of get overlooked. I think we all possess that chip. You know what I'm saying? To make it to the highest level, we all feel like we got to be overqualified to be qualified to even get recognized. And I got to watch you continue to stack games and stack years, and you've gotten progressively better. It's not even just the stats, because as Hale mentioned, like, you can't look at the stats just as that, right? It's the game, particularly at the cornerback position, because it's not about really stats. Like, sometimes you're not getting targeted. Sometimes it's a lot of stuff that goes into that. But I'm talking about just the way you go about the game. Do you make big play moments? And that's the signature of you. And one of the things I remember tweeting at you, I want to say it was after who did y'all beat 59-0? I know that's a little humble brag. Yeah, yeah, yep. So I remember I tweeted at you, man, because I don't think you got your just due. I see everybody out here getting their just due, and you've been killing it for multiple years now in the city. So I wanted to make sure that you knew that I recognize what you're doing. So I appreciate you for not only coming on this podcast, but I appreciate you for more so being who you are. Like you said, you don't listen to the outside noise, and that's how it should be. And you're gonna be Dallas, whether that's just who you are, right? My in my closing question, bro, as we wrap up this episode, is this is season 3 and it's labeled season of separation, where we focus on the aspects of someone's journey that separates them from the rest of the crowd, right? For you, Dallas, it's been that slow grind. One of the things we talk about is that slow grind, like that marathon type of mentality, steadily improving year in and year out. Going into next year, what are some of the components or details that you're looking forward to improving upon to separate yourself and elevate your game to the next level?
I'll say for me, well, first of all, I want to say, hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you for that segment. I appreciate the support and love. Yeah, thank you for that. And then I want to get into what I've been kind of looking into myself. Like, I always set goals for myself, and I just want to keep that same work ethic I've had for these past few years since like high school. I just want to keep my head down. Like you said, that slogan, just keep my head down, not worry about no one else. I got to improve that on myself. So specifically though, I want to keep being the even this is my senior year, like, and I got some younger guys chasing after my spot. Like, I still want to come in, wake up every day, always find out one thing to get better at. And with spring ball coming up, there's little things I've talked to my position coaches about, like what I want to get better at, whether that's technique wise, changing the outlook of my body, getting more tone, getting more, strength and stuff like that. Cause my goal is to get to the next level, be in the NFL. So I got to start, you got to start that preparation now, like changing your body now, getting faster, being more explosive and stuff like that. And that all starts right now. So those early mornings, they always tough, how it be. So it's just, I kind of have this mindset of whenever I hear that alarm, it's just, I don't lay back down. I gotta, it's time to get up. It's time to work. It's time to get after the day, put that daily deposit in. So it's almost just, to summarize that all up, just every day just taking a step forward and just knowing that I can't let anyone outwork me. Like that's one of my values. Like, I just got to keep working. And there's probably, even when I'm waking up, I got to wake up at like 5 a.m. every morning. I just feel like there's always someone waking up earlier than me, getting after it already. So that motivates me. That keeps me going. And that starts with my family. Like, that's how my dad grew up. That's how my brother. That's how my whole family grew up. Just kind of just working. Like you said, coming from Omaha, just having that chip on your shoulder. Like, you just got to, that's all you can do is just work and just be disciplined. And that's all you can do. So I feel like that's what I want to keep working on getting better at.
One more thing I want to add to this, especially since hearing about your goals and aspiration, where you want to be. So we interviewed Sharif Mitchell some time ago. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. So fantastic interview. Yeah, and one of the questions Jordan asked was, kind of what he was getting out of what he wanted to get out of Ohio State. And looking at him now, he's absolutely killing it. So that's amazing. So I similar to you, and Jordan kind of alluded to it, but I want to take it a step further. 1 year from now, where would you like to see yourself? What's going on around you? How did the team do? How do you feel like you do? Do you have a certain accolade or a goal that you're searching for? And then, of course, the NFL level. Where do you see yourself 1 year from now?
1 year from now, I hope I've seen all these bowl games going on right now. I hope I envision myself to be preparing for a combine workout, preparing for that pro day. I want to see myself in one of those bowl games. I want to see myself proving myself to these scouts. I know coming from some people don't give love to the FCS school because they're smaller schools. So I know that's what I got to do. I'm gonna have to show them, like I have my whole life, just show people what I got. And but 1 year from now, hopefully we're coming off another championship win. We got Oklahoma State this year, so we have a lot of eyes on us. So we ain't going there to lose. Yeah, so we got something to prove going there for sure. So we got a big season coming up, and then I hopefully we can get things done with that, and then after that, look into preparing my body, get ready for the next level.
Yeah, so
You don't
Jordan
even know why
Flowers
I
is
said,
the Okie State fan. Yeah, yep, yep. Jordan Flowers is the Okie State fan.
bro,
So, Jordan, who are you
I'm the
rooting
biggest
for?
Oklahoma State fan. Ooh, come on, man, I got to root for my mans. Hey, bro, if it's one L, if it's one L that I allow them to take, it's to y'all. It's to y'all.
I'm glad you let that.
Other than that, yeah, anything other than that, dog, that's unacceptable, dog. I can't really
Yeah, I promise
rock with.
you.
Speaking
I
of 12
promise
too,
you.
though.
When you guys play, hey, I promise you, when you guys play, he's not going to be saying that. He's definitely going to have an Okie State flag
Chill
behind
out,
him. All right, I'm going to
chill
let
out,
you
man.
know
All
right
right, listen.
now.
You know what I'm really excited about in that game? The possibility of, I got some propaganda. Gunner or not Gunner? What's the Flores kid from Omaha?
Oh yeah.
From Gretna. He's the quarterback at Oklahoma State. I don't know if he'll be starting in, but I know he was a 5-star, 4-star. So that would be a dope thing for me to be able to watch. Is two y'all lining up against each other, man, and get that duel, and I can speak well about my city, man. But that would be I'm gonna be tapped into that game. But I'm gonna go with South Dakota State. I'm gonna
Oh,
go
you
with
got
y'all,
this.
man, just because I rock with you. Yeah, I got y'all. I got y'all, man. That hurt, and I don't know how much that hurts me to say, but I got y'all though. But
I appreciate you for that.
man,
Did y'all see when we played Iowa
yeah,
a
for
couple
sure.
weeks ago?
Yeah, man, that was a punt fest. Was that the one where y'all had? It was like
Oh, it
how many
was
punts it
the
was?
final score was 7-3. No one scored a touchdown. Like as a defense, we held
Yeah,
them
that's
to one
crazy.
field goal, but they had 2 safeties against our offense. So it's crazy, bro.
Hey, hell, tell them before we get up out of here. Tell them about my stance on Iowa where I was wrong. You gotta tell them about that story, bro.
Oh my God, this is amazing. So, yeah, so we were talking about Ohio or Iowa versus Michigan, and we're sports
Mm-hmm.
betting. So we're trying to figure out who's who, and one of our good friends was like, "Hey, I think I'm gonna have Iowa to score." It was like team score. It was literally a touchdown, and
Yeah.
I put it in the chat. I was like, "I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think I was gonna score at all." I don't know what happened with Jordan that day. He must have had a terrible day, but this dude was cursing everyone out in that chat, saying that we're dumb to think Iowa would not score in that game. I was like, Jordan, I was like, this it really is the worst college football offense I've ever seen in my life. Like, like I really don't think they're gonna score. And that's not crazy to say.
Man,
He's like, no, you guys you're wrong. Bet money, I'll do all this stuff, right? It was probably mid third quarter was the first time they even got past the 50-yard line. I was scared.
bro,
They,
I
they
bet
didn't score a
I
single
bet
point.
real
Though.
US
It
dollars
wasn't
on
even
that.
close.
Bro, I bet
And to make it
real.
even worse, Jordan has never apologized for that. Not one time. He's
No,
never gotten there and apologized for that. We're still waiting on
they
that
won't get
apology.
one.
Hey, that was
They
the
won't
Big
get
Ten
one. No,
championship this past year,
Yeah.
yo,
and they didn't even
yo.
score, did they? They didn't even score.
No.
I think they had a field goal, bro, and I had
Oh,
bet them to NCAA. If y'all see this, man, Dallas is not betting. I'm a retired athlete. I can bet. Yeah, he good. He good. I don't want no smoke with that. Well, I'm gonna get my boy out the clear, man. But me and hell, we are retired athletes, so I do be betting. And yeah, but I think I it was the money was good. Like for them to score a touchdown, I'm like they can get like a trick play or
Yeah.
a something in, bro. And oh my god, I was so wrong. And I bet real US dollars on that, and they was letting me have it. I was broke. I was mad. Oh yeah, it was a bad day all around, bro. But man, I want to thank you again, Dallas, for being on here, man. It's been a pleasure. As a part of the retired community, man, we want you to keep doing your thing, man. Just hold on a little bit longer because us over here, I think the consensus is that, like I said, we talked about it before I got on the or we started recording. I'm like, man, I look at my football and that thing be kind of staring at me. I pick it up. So as long as you can keep playing this game at a high level, I think we all would. And so I'm glad to see you continue to pursue your dreams, man, and you keep killing it out there, man. We're going to always be tapped in as a podcast. So thank you guys for tuning in for another episode. And welcome from, I forgot my podcast name, Modeling Power Narratives. And we'll see you again soon.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for having me on here today.
Absolutely.